Buongiorno, my love.
Buonasera.
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 So, tonight we are doing our video this evening, during evening time, and we are looking out over beautiful, beautiful Roma during the sunset. Oh, it's so beautiful. And enjoying a little bit of disco dancing here at the Villa Medici too, in Villa Borghese. So this week we've been talking about discernment, and discernment is all about making rational actors in our collective decision making. And today what we're going to talk about is step 3, and this is something that we tend to do nella sera, in the evening, and this is when we get all the feels.
My personal favorite, getting deep inside and touching your feelings, right? Super easy for a guy like me.
Exactly. It's totally the favorite.
I prefer step 2, just make a decision. Sorry, go ahead. So remember, step one was know that you got lots of decisions. Mm-hmm. Step 2 is just make a decision.
Make a decision.
And now what do you got to do?
So
you got to examine it. Yeah.
Now you have to get into all the feels. And I love having John here because he is so open and honest and truthful about all of this stuff, which is that this is a really, really hard part of the discernment process for most of us, at least in the Western world. It's just not getting in touch with our feelings, not something that we really are taught to do. It's not something that we do a whole lot. And what's really fascinating is our prefrontal cortex is the part of our brains that actually help us to connect with our emotions and our feelings. And that doesn't develop fully until we're 26 years old. So this is why toddlers and teenagers sort of stink at this whole discernment process, because man, they will realize that they have all of the choices. They will take decisive action, and they will never get in touch with their feelings about any of that decisive action.
Been there.
Yeah. Haven't we all?
Yeah, I think it was about 35 that my prefrontal cortex finally
fully developed. So this is why emotional intelligence is so important. And this step in the discernment process is something that we've known for hundreds of years, or really it's been something that we've talked about for a really long time. Mm-hmm. And it's when we have to really truly fully get in touch with our emotions about the decisions that we're making.
Yeah, not just the good decisions, not just the bad decisions. You're not beating yourself up. It's not like a self-flagellation deal.
Right. Right.
But it's and I think it's appropriate that it happens, in the evening, because when often one hears, well, how are you going to feel about that decision when you're 9 years old? Think back, put yourself in that position, and then will it be important that you spent extra time at work or spent more time on vacation? And I think that's just the long version of instead of many little circles, there's just one big circle. Whereas tonight, if we examine, we say, hey, maybe we did this well, we did this, we want to add some to this, we can go back, we can do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
You got it.
So I love this pointing to this idea that the examine is something that happens throughout our whole life cycle. And a lot of times in the sunsets of our life, at the kind of our older years, we will sit there and we will look back on our life and the decisions that we made and start feeling those feelings about this. So older males, it's marked when we talk with older males, because a lot of older males will actually start crying about things that have happened in their life, just get really emotional. And people will even talk, they'll be like, well, he's much more emotional now than he was when he was, and they'll make that face too, like, oh, that's bad that he's so much more emotional now. And the invitation is to start doing that actually in every sunset. So in every evening, really get in touch with those emotions about that actual action that you took during the day, that we took during the day. And then it will help to guide us in our actions and our decision making tomorrow.
And then it doesn't pile up. So I think what you're hitting on with that old, especially with men, is they've bottled it up so much. They've not done the nightly examination. It's just all stuff deep down in there, and they finally need to get it out.
Yeah. So, for example, today I felt very satisfied with my day today, personally. My feeling of satisfaction, to me, feels a lot like this, like I just ate a really, really good meal, kind of that feeling of being replete in my body, and it kind of maybe has almost the color of like a full-bodied red wine. Like it's just a very satisfied feeling. So I 98% feel like that. Kind of 2% have a little poking part in me where I had an instinct at some point during the day today to go spend some more time with the kids, to stop working and spend time with the kids. And I didn't honor it. I didn't obey it. And so I have a little poke in me at the end of this day saying, okay, well, so we should do that. So this is helpful because tomorrow then, when I feel that, when I hear that instinctive voice saying, hey, go spend some time with the kids, I'll actually honor that and go do that. And that makes me a more rational actor in the collective decision making of our family. And it even does also in my workplace and with my colleagues too.
Absolutely. Yeah. As opposed to waking up one day 10 years from now and saying, could have been doing this many evenings.
Yeah, exactly. So this step 3 is really, really, really important. And one of the really important parts about this is to celebrate. This is something that some of us, me, I do the self-flagellation thing of like, oh my gosh, I didn't spend time with the kids. It's only like 2% of how I'm feeling. Another 98% is that satisfaction. And so it's really important at the end of our days to also celebrate and feel such gratitude about everything that happened to us during the day. And take that time to go walk in the park with the people you love and celebrate those sunsets.
That's a good idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have a beautiful day, everyone. Have a beautiful evening. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.